It is dusk on the Mississippi, somewhere down where the water has gone the color of coffee with milk. There is a concrete boat ramp, a rope swing hanging off a cottonwood, a kid launching himself out over the surface and dropping in with a slap. The river takes him without a sound and gives him back. On the far bank, a heron stands in the shallows and does not move. The surface tells you nothing is wrong. That is the first lie the river tells you, because you cannot see 1 inch down into that water. And this single river carries more separate ways to get hurt than almost any body of water in the country. 10 states touch it, from Minnesota all the way down to Louisiana. And the danger changes every few hundred miles as the water warms and slows and darkens. There are catfish down there the size of a grown man. There are alligators on the southern banks. There is, on the record, a shark. And there is something in the warm shallows you cannot see at all. But the animal that injures more people on this river every single year than anything else does not bite you, and it does not rise up from below. It comes down out of the air, and it is aiming at your face. Before we go down the river, do one thing for me. Tell me which stretch you are on. Drop your town in the comments, from the headwaters to the delta, because this river reaches farther than people believe, and I want to see how far it stretches in the comments below. If you fish it, wade it, or grew up on it, subscribe, because the people who know this water are exactly who this countdown is for. One thing to keep in mind as we go. This list is not ranked by size, and it is not ranked by teeth. It mixes 2 different kinds of danger: how likely an animal is to hurt you, and how badly it can hurt you if it ever does, because on this river those are almost never the same animal. Up at Lake Itasca in northern Minnesota, where the Mississippi begins, you can walk across it on stones. The water there runs clear and cold and ankle deep, the kind of stream a child could dam with 2 hands. It does not stay that way. By the time it has gathered 10 states of rain, it is carrying every animal on this list. We start at the top and we work our way down into the dark. Number 10. The common snapping turtle. This one is in your stretch no matter where you are, headwaters to delta, buried in the mud of a slow backwater with only its eyes and the ridge of its nose showing. You have heard that a snapping turtle can bite through a broom handle or take a hand clean off. The truth is quieter and stranger. The measured bite force of a common snapper comes in around 210 newtons, which is actually less than the force of your own jaw. That number is nothing special. What makes the animal dangerous is the beak. All of that force is focused down onto a sharp, hooked edge. And if you are noodling, reaching a bare hand into an underwater hole to feel for catfish, or just wading a muddy bottom in bare feet, that edge will find a finger or a toe and shear straight through it. In open water, the snapper would rather flee. On land, cornered and frightened, it becomes a different animal entirely. Number 9. The lake sturgeon. Up in the clear upper river, through Minnesota and Wisconsin, and the wide, slow pool of Lake Pepin, there lives a fish whose lineage goes back to the age of the dinosaurs, more than 100 million years. It has no scales. Instead, it wears 5 rows of bony plates called scutes running the length of its body, each one ridged and sharp in a young fish. And it can grow past 7 feet and outlive the person who catches it. More than 100 years in the water. The lake sturgeon does not hunt you. Most of what it stirs in a person is awe. But it is armored and enormous. And sturgeon on other rivers leap clear of the surface without warning. And a leaping fish this size has knocked grown boaters senseless. Here is the part that should sit with you. The lake sturgeon has declined by roughly 99% over the last century, hammered by dams and overfishing and pollution. In 19 of the 20 states where it once swam, it is now listed as threatened, endangered, or of special concern. In Louisiana, Alabama, and Arkansas, it is simply gone. The oldest animal in the whole river is the one we very nearly lost. Number 8. The Flathead catfish. Now the river is wider and warmer, running past the Quad Cities and down towards St. Louis, and the giants begin. The flathead is an ambush predator with a flat shovel of a head and a mouth like a 5-gallon bucket. It lives in the deep holes and the sunken log jams of the Middle River, and it gets big. The rod and reel record flathead weighed 123 pounds, and fish, over 100, come out of this drainage every year. These are the fish those bare-handed noodling videos are really about. A flathead guarding its hole will clamp down on the arm reaching into it and simply refuse to let go, and it is strong enough to hold a man under. People have drowned in shallow water that way, pinned to the bottom by a fish they never saw. Number 7. The blue catfish. If the flathead is a giant, the blue catfish is the largest catfish in all of North America, and this is its home water. Ignore the headlines that call it invasive. That is the story over on the Atlantic coast where it does not belong. Here in the Mississippi, it is native, and here it grows to sizes that do not look real when you see them hoisted up on a dock. The Mississippi state record, pulled from the river near Natchez, weighed 131 pounds, just 12 pounds under the all-tackle world record. A fish that heavy, hooked in a current running this hard, has dragged more than one grown man off the bank and into the water before he could let go of the rod. Number 6. The bull shark. Yes, a shark in the Mississippi, and this is the one nobody downstream believes until you put the record in front of them. In September of 1937, 2 commercial fishermen working near Alton, Illinois, hauled a dead bull shark out of the river. 5 feet long, 84 pounds, and 1,740 miles from the salt water of the Gulf of Mexico. That is the farthest inland a shark has ever been confirmed anywhere on Earth. The bull shark can do this because it can switch its own body chemistry over to survive in fresh water, something almost no other shark alive can manage. A second one turned up in 1995, jammed in the intake grate of a power station just south of St. Louis. We already made a whole video on how a shark ends up that far up the Mississippi, and what it really means that it can. Watch that one right after this. For now, just sit with the fact of it. There has been a shark north of St. Louis. That is the halfway mark, and it is the moment to subscribe, because everything from here down is worse. As the river warms and darkens through Memphis and Vicksburg and Baton Rouge, down through Arkansas and Mississippi and Louisiana, the animals wading in it are the ones people refuse to believe share the water with them. If this river runs past your town, you will want to see the rest. Number 5. The cottonmouth. You will not meet this one up north. But somewhere below the Missouri boot heel, down around Cairo, Illinois, where the Ohio River pours in and the Mississippi turns warm and green and slow, the river crosses a line, and below that line lives the only venomous water snake in North America. People call it the water moccasin. It is a thick, dark, heavy-bodied pit viper that swims with its head up and its back riding high on the surface. And when it is cornered, it holds its ground. It coils, it buzzes its tail against the leaves, and it gapes, that startling cotton-white mouth wide open at you as a flag of warning. Here is what this audience needs, said straight, because the myth gets people killed for no reason. The cottonmouth defends itself. It does not chase people. It warns first, and it bites last. And almost every serious bite on record happened because somebody tried to grab it, corner it, or kill it. Leave it be, and it will leave you be. But the venom is real, and it is ugly. It breaks down the tissue around the bite and stops your blood from clotting properly, and bites turn up every single year through the lower Mississippi Valley. A few have cost people fingers, rarely an entire limb. Number 4. The alligator snapping turtle. Do not confuse this with the common snapper we opened with. This is a different, far larger animal, and it belongs to the lower river. The alligator snapping turtle is the biggest freshwater turtle in North America, a spiked, ridged, mossy boulder of a creature that sits motionless on the bottom with its mouth open. On the floor of that mouth is a small, pink, worm-shaped lure that it wiggles, and when a fish comes to investigate, the jaws close. The largest individuals ever tested bit down with close to 1,900 newtons of force. That is the bite that actually can take a finger clean off, and it has. It will not chase you, and it has never killed anyone. But if you are feeling around a submerged log in the warm lower river with your bare hands, understand what might be sitting under it, looking exactly like the log. Number 3. The American alligator. Down in the Louisiana Delta and the flooded maze of the Atchafalaya Basin, the river reaches its true apex predator. Its scientific name is Alligator mississippiensis, which means quite literally, the alligator of the Mississippi. This is its river, and it has been its river far longer than it has been anyone's state line. Louisiana alone holds around 2 million wild alligators, and in the marshes, where the river finally spreads out and empties into the Gulf, they lie, thick on the mud banks, still as driftwood, watching the water. An alligator cannot chew. So when it seizes something too large to swallow whole, it clamps down and spins its entire body over and over, twisting a piece loose by brute rotation. That maneuver has a name that tells you everything you need to know. They call it the death roll. Attacks on people are truly rare, and a gator would far rather avoid you. But this is the one animal on the whole countdown fully capable of treating a human being as food, and now and then, one has. Number 2. The one you cannot see. In the warm, still, sun-baked backwaters of the lower river, in the shallow, slack water at the edges in the dead heat of high summer, there is a single-celled organism living in the sediment called Naegleria fowleri. The newspapers call it the brain-eating amoeba. It cannot hurt you if you swallow it. You cannot catch it from another person. It has exactly one way in, and that is up your nose. When warm, shallow water is forced high into your nasal passage, usually from diving or jumping in or stirring up the bottom. From there, it travels the nerve to the brain. Now, hear the whole truth, because fear without facts is useless. This is extraordinarily rare. In the entire United States, fewer than 10 people a year are infected, and most of those cases come from warm southern lakes and ponds rather than the river channel itself. But it is nearly always fatal, around 97%. And that is why it earns this spot. The prevention is simple and worth knowing. In warm, still, shallow fresh water in high summer, hold your nose or wear a nose clip when you go under. Keep your head up and do not stir up the bottom. It is the rarest danger on this list and the only one you truly cannot see coming. Number 1. And this is the one that should change how you think about this whole river. The animal that injures more people on the Mississippi than anything else is not the one with the biggest teeth, or the deadliest venom, or the amoeba, or even the shark. It is a fish that weighs 20 to 40 pounds, and it hurts you by flying into your face. The silver carp is an invasive fish that escaped into this basin back in the 1970s, and today, it fills long stretches of the Middle River in the millions, a bright, silver, low-eyed plankton feeding machine. When a boat motor passes, The sound throws them into a panic, and they launch. Not one of them. Dozens at once, straight up out of the brown water, as high as 10 feet into the air. A 20-pound fish leaving the river at that speed and meeting a person standing in a boat doing 20 miles an hour breaks noses, breaks jaws, breaks ribs, and knocks people clean out of their seats and into the water. The United States Geological Survey says it plainly that jumping carp have seriously injured many boaters. This is documented. It is almost too absurd to believe, and it is completely true. The single most dangerous animal in the Mississippi River does not come from the dark water beneath your boat. It comes from the air above it, and it never even meant to find you. So, think back to that brown surface at dusk, the boat ramp, the kid on the rope swing, the water giving nothing away. It looked exactly the same from the headwaters to the delta. Flat, calm, quiet, brown. And it was never once the thing it looked like. That is the river. Now, I want to know which piece of it is yours. Drop your town in the comments and tell me the stretch you know. And if you have not seen how a shark ended up more than 1,000 miles up this river past St. Louis, that is the one to watch next.